Picture this. It's either early in the morning or late at night, and you're standing in front of the bathroom mirror. The lighting doesn't hide anything. Your shirt is off, your posture isn't quite as confident as it once was, and you pause for a moment to really look at yourself. You don't think you look terrible. In fact, you're doing many of the things people recommend. You exercise regularly, you try to eat well, you're making an effort to stay healthy. But despite all that, something doesn't feel quite right. It's hard to describe because it isn't some major collapse. It's much more subtle. You're not completely drained, but you don't feel truly strong either. The spark you used to have seems faded. Your energy disappears sooner than it should. Everyday stress feels heavier than before. Even getting motivated takes far more effort than it once did. That's why conversations about testosterone, creatine, and restoring your energy start to grab your attention. They don't sound like empty promises. Instead, they seem like they might explain what you've been experiencing. Maybe your body is simply missing one important piece. Maybe there's something that could help everything click back into place. That idea stays in your mind because deep down, you're not obsessed with building massive muscles or chasing bigger numbers in the gym. What you really want is to feel capable again, to wake up with energy, to feel driven, to feel like yourself. At first, the idea makes perfect sense. You hear countless success stories. Before and after transformations fill your screen. People talk about creatine and testosterone as though they've discovered the secret everyone else overlooked. They describe better strength, greater motivation, and renewed confidence. Not some miracle overnight, but a steady return to the person they used to be. So you decide to give it a shot. You start taking your daily scoop. You become more disciplined with your workouts. You clean up your routine and patiently wait for results. Eventually, you notice a few changes. The number on the scale climbs slightly. Your muscles appear a bit fuller. You manage an extra repetition during a workout or lift a little more weight than before. By all appearances, that should feel like success. But emotionally, something is still missing. You're still waking up tired. Stress hasn't magically disappeared. That quiet sense of momentum you hoped would return never fully shows up. It's the part no one includes in flashy videos or dramatic transformations. The disappointment isn't dramatic enough to make you quit immediately. Instead, it lingers quietly in the background, making you wonder if this is really all there is. You followed the advice, you stayed consistent, yet the feeling you were actually searching for still seems out of reach. So, naturally, you go searching again. You grab your phone, type a few questions into the search bar, and suddenly you're overwhelmed by completely opposite opinions. One group insists creatine is practically a legal steroid. They claim it boosts testosterone, transforms your performance, and unlocks your masculine potential. According to them, if you're not taking it, you're holding yourself back from serious progress. Then another group appears, just as confidently, but with a completely different warning. They say creatine will damage your hormones, hurt your kidneys, increase DHT, cause hair loss, or even affect your reproductive health. Both sides speak with absolute certainty. Both sound convincing. And there you are, trying to figure out which version, if either, is actually true. The frustrating part is that each side presents studies and scientific terms that seem believable. Both selectively highlight evidence that supports their argument. Both act as though the answer is completely settled. Yet neither side explains why so many people still don't experience the deeper changes they expected. That's where the discussion starts falling apart. The question everyone keeps asking is, does creatine increase testosterone? It sounds like the obvious question. It even sounds scientific. But focusing on that question sends people in the wrong direction from the very beginning. Creatine and testosterone aren't the same type of substance. Creatine isn't a hormone. It doesn't behave like testosterone, replace testosterone, or tell your body to produce more testosterone. They serve entirely different purposes. A better way to think about creatine is as a source of quick energy rather than a hormonal switch. Your body naturally produces creatine every single day using amino acids. You also get additional creatine whenever you eat foods like red meat or fish. Taking a creatine supplement doesn't override your biology or force your hormones to change. It simply increases the amount of creatine available in your muscles, giving them a larger reserve of fast energy when your body needs it most. When that distinction gets overlooked, disappointment becomes almost inevitable. Instead of paying attention to how your body actually feels and performs, people end up staring at blood test results, expecting one number to suddenly shoot up and solve everything. The reality is that hormones don't function independently. They're part of a much larger network that includes your energy levels, recovery, stress response, brain function, and muscle health. It's not as simple as flipping a switch where higher automatically means better. That's why people who say creatine is useless because their testosterone didn't increase are missing an important part of the story. On the other hand, those who claim creatine is some incredible testosterone booster are overlooking the truth as well. The real answer lies somewhere in between, and it begins with understanding what creatine is actually doing inside your body. Once you take creatine consistently, the first changes happen where you can't even see them. There aren't any dramatic signs or instant transformations. Instead, the effects begin deep inside your muscle cells. Your muscles start storing more phosphocreatine, which acts as a rapid backup source of energy. During intense exercise like lifting heavy weights, sprinting, or pushing through a difficult set, your muscles burn through ATP, the body's immediate energy supply, in just a matter of seconds. Creatine helps restore that energy much more quickly, allowing your muscles to keep working at a higher level when they would normally begin to slow down. This is also why many people notice the scale increase shortly after starting creatine. Those extra pounds usually aren't body fat. They're largely the result of additional water being stored inside your muscle cells, along with the creatine itself. That increased hydration makes your muscles appear fuller while also improving their ability to perform. A simple way to picture it is like adding fresh coolant to a high-performance engine. The outside of the engine looks exactly the same, but internally, it can handle more work before reaching its limits. This is where testosterone starts becoming part of the conversation. Testosterone alone doesn't determine how strong or capable you are. Your body responds to the demands you place on it. Heavy loads, challenging workouts, total training volume, and proper recovery all send powerful signals that influence adaptation. Because creatine gives your muscles access to energy more quickly, you may squeeze out one more repetition, lift slightly heavier weights, or recover better between training sessions. Each improvement seems small on its own, but over weeks and months, those small gains build on each other. Resistance training is already one of the most effective natural ways to temporarily increase hormones involved in muscle growth and recovery, including testosterone and growth hormone. Creatine doesn't directly create those hormonal responses. Instead, it helps you train harder and recover better, making it easier to create the conditions where those natural responses can occur. Research has consistently shown a similar pattern. People who combine creatine with resistance training generally build more strength and gain more muscle than those who perform the same training without it. Interestingly, these improvements often happen even when testosterone levels measured in the laboratory show little or no meaningful change. That's where many people become confused. They focus entirely on the hormone number while ignoring the fact that their body is performing better, recovering faster, and adapting more effectively. The testosterone level may look almost identical, but the overall results are very different. In many cases, your body begins functioning better long before any blood test would ever reflect a noticeable difference. Another important point that often gets overlooked is that creatine doesn't only support your muscles. Your brain relies on it as well. Although your brain makes up only a small percentage of your total body weight, it consumes roughly 1/5 of your daily energy. It's constantly working, processing information, solving problems, controlling movement, regulating emotions, and keeping your body functioning. When life becomes demanding through poor sleep, long work hours, mental overload, or constant stress, the brain often feels the strain before anything else. Concentration becomes more difficult. Your mood feels flatter. Even your workouts can seem harder because your mind isn't keeping up with your body. Creatine serves as an emergency energy reserve for brain cells, in much the same way it supports muscle cells. During periods of high mental demand, having that additional energy available may help reduce mental fatigue, improve focus, and make it easier to stay mentally sharp. Instead of feeling like you're forcing yourself through every task, you may simply feel more capable of handling whatever the day brings. And that has a much bigger connection to your hormones than many people realize. Long-term stress causes cortisol, your body's primary stress hormone, to remain elevated for extended periods. Cortisol and testosterone are closely connected, and when stress remains high for long periods, cortisol can interfere with how effectively testosterone does its job. It doesn't have to completely suppress testosterone to make a noticeable difference. Even a moderate increase in ongoing stress can leave you feeling less motivated, slower to recover, and not quite as confident or energetic as usual. That's why some people report feeling more focused, motivated, or emotionally balanced after taking creatine. It isn't necessarily because their testosterone suddenly jumped. More often, it's because their body is functioning under less strain. Better recovery, improved sleep, and lower overall stress create an internal environment where your natural hormones can work more efficiently. Testosterone isn't fighting against constant stress signals anymore. When your brain has the energy it needs and your body recovers more effectively, showing up for workouts becomes easier. Staying active feels less like a battle. You become more consistent without forcing it, and those small improvements begin reinforcing each other. That's not marketing hype. It's simply how different systems inside the body work together. This is usually the point where doubts begin to surface. Even if everything you've heard so far makes sense, there's often a lingering question in the back of your mind. Isn't creatine basically a steroid? Doesn't it damage your kidneys? What about DHT, hormones, or hair loss? Those concerns are understandable, and they deserve clear answers rather than being brushed aside. First, creatine is not a steroid. It's also not a hormone. It doesn't attach to androgen receptors or shut down your body's natural testosterone production. Anabolic steroids work by introducing synthetic hormones into the body, which can reduce your own hormone production through negative feedback mechanisms. Creatine works in an entirely different way. It's simply a naturally occurring compound that your body already produces and stores to help generate quick energy. Kidney health is another common concern. For healthy adults, daily doses of around 3 to 5 grams have been studied extensively over many years. Research has consistently shown that this amount does not negatively affect kidney or liver function in healthy individuals. One reason people become confused is because creatine supplementation can increase creatinine levels in blood tests. Creatinine is commonly used as a marker when evaluating kidney function, but a higher creatinine level after taking creatine doesn't automatically indicate kidney damage. In many cases, it simply reflects that more creatine is being metabolized by the body. Hair loss is another topic that comes up frequently. A small study involving rugby players reported a temporary increase in DHT after creatine supplementation. However, those levels remained within the normal physiological range. The study didn't actually measure hair loss, and later research has not consistently reproduced the same findings. If someone already has a strong genetic tendency toward hair loss, many factors can influence that process, including aging, hormones, genetics, and even intense physical training. Pointing to creatine alone as the cause oversimplifies a much more complex picture. The bigger mistake isn't taking creatine. It's misunderstanding what creatine is designed to do and expecting it to solve problems that are rooted in completely different areas of your health. This brings us to one of the most important mindset shifts. Many of us have been conditioned to expect visible results within 30 days. We want to look different, feel different, and judge whether something works after only a few weeks. Your body doesn't operate on that timeline. Hormonal health is built over months and years, not days. Once you start thinking long-term, the question changes completely. Instead of asking, "Did this raise my testosterone quickly?" you begin asking, Am I creating a body that will stay strong, healthy, and resilient for years to come? That's a far more valuable question. Muscle matters. Recovery matters. Managing stress matters. Supplements can certainly play a role, but only when they're supporting an already solid foundation.